Hello, guys. Welcome to CPL podcast episode number 5. Here I am with my great boy Adam.
Hey,
Right?
what's
That's how
up?
you pronounce it.
Yep, that's
If
right.
you, first of all, how are you just doing, man? Are you doing
Uh,
good?
yeah, I'm doing good,
And
dude. I've been busy with all the different draft leagues I've been doing, but otherwise, I'm good for the most part.
hey, talking about draft leagues and awesome draft league servers. I wanted to get to ask you, how did you and your brother Byron start this up? And
Yes,
hear your side of the story, of course.
yeah, of course. So originally, he said like he really wanted to do it. I was a little hesitant at first. Funny enough, I was like, I don't know if we should because all the effort and everything, and I do travel a lot for work. So I was like, I don't know. But then he was really adamant on doing it. So I was like, all right, let's give this a shot. Maybe we can get like one or two divisions, kind of get things started and just see where it kind of goes. And we did not expect for it to grow this much. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy. We're already at 150 something people on the server, and it just amazes me. But then starting out with it, I was just like, huh. All right, let's see what happens. We started finding people. I started asking every single person I knew because I'm in like 30 different Discord servers, and I just started posting our league everywhere I could. I was trying to see, okay, this league, let me post it here. This spot, let me post it here. I know this person's not that busy right now. All right, let's see if he wants to join. Just kind of trying to get as much people as possible and just see what happens.
yeah, a little bit. It goes into a bit of that. What made you guys want to start off with multiple divisions? I know you guys started off with 3, but now you're up to 6. Like, what was the decision behind that? Because I know most draft leagues don't even get like 12 members to start their first season.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. I mean, originally we thought, okay, if we could get like one or two divisions of like 12 people, we'll be happy with that, right? Then we just started having applications just start piling in like crazy. Like me and him were spending like afternoons just going over because we had so many applications. We couldn't believe it, and we were just amazed by it because we were like, "Oh, this is so great! We have all these people, and we didn't even expect it to get this big so quickly."
Yeah, it's very impressive, man. Very impressive. And I know your brother Byron, the lovely Gibble lover, so you will, explained this earlier. But I also just wanted to ask you, like, how did the love for Spiel specifically start about?
Well, the love for Spiel has just been something I've always enjoyed. Like every time I've seen this Pokemon, I'm just like, "This is the most adorable thing ever." And I just always grown love for it. I always enjoyed Walrein when I played the Gen 3 games like Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire. I just always had a Walrein on my team and I really loved the Mon. But I just Spiel is just so adorable to me. He's a little round guy. And just I've seen so much artwork on it. There's literally a Twitter page just dedicated to Spiel art. And I literally just follow it and I look at it all the time just to bring a smile to my face.
And but here's the most important question that I might have to ask you for the whole episode. How glad were you when Spiel evolutionary line won for the first division naming rights, I guess you will, for your first season?
Oh, well, trust
Because
I still don't
I
let my brother live that down about that. Because we had a poll on our server for when people applied, like who is better, Gilbert or Spiel, and we put there is a wrong answer. Obviously, if you put Gibble, you're on the wrong side of this argument, and I will stand to that to this day.
and I guess by popular opinion, they really were right. I mean, they were in the loser side of it. Oh, sorry about that.
You're
There's
good.
yeah, they were in the losing side of history that day.
Yeah, I know all those people who voted for Gibble. It was funny too, because at first, the first like 20 applicants, Gibble was winning by a big margin. Then it just started going downhill, and when you have a Spiel and Gibble racing downhill, Spiel is just going to keep on rolling.
Yeah, Phil is very cute, very round specifically, right?
Yep, he's the little round boy.
Gibble is very jaded in his appearance.
Exactly. He was better uphill because he's able to use his digging abilities. But once we started going down, there was no stopping it.
Yeah, it's tough to roll balls up hills. I think there's a song about that or something.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know where though.
But just how's it going with you guys? Like you've been at it for what, like 5 months? I want to say roughly. Could be a little bit less, could a little bit more. But how's it
Yeah,
just running the league with your big bro? And now you guys got council members too.
yeah, for sure. No, honestly, I'm happy we were able to bring on like people to be mods. We call them the council, just as a joke I've said in the server where people will like say something and they're like, "Oh no, the council is summoned," and I would just put emotes of seven fields rolling in, which was funny. When we brought in our mods, we had five exactly. So then, if you include me and my brother, it's exactly seven to represent it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how life works out that way. But I think that makes a lot of sense, right? Like five council members, plus you and your brother can like kind of be spread out with everything.
Oh
So it
yeah,
makes
for
a lot of
sure.
sense. Because I think there's 5 formats, right? I think
Uh,
could be six,
I
could be
believe
wrong.
it's I think it's four formats, five divisions. So many
Ah, there
people
you go.
applied for Ubers, so we had to make it into two divisions. Plus, we have some people in there who have a lot of experience doing Ubers, and I don't want to put it against the dude who just started out draft and is going against someone who's played over 1,000 draft league matches.
Oh man, draft Ubers is just a whole nother animal. I tried playing that. I'm like, man, I'm so out of my element. So I applaud. I give my hat tip my hats off to Uber players specifically. Specifically draft league players, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Because
No. Mm.
I think in some draft leagues you can only draft two Ubers or something like that. So it's just like you took like, a wrong Uber and like your team was just like so bad.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because
That
like
definitely goes into team building with it because typically leagues will limit the amount of Ubers you have and then try to force you to build around it. And when you don't get that Uber that's overly offensive or it's not that bulky, it's harder to build around.
yeah, it's just it's a tough scene, but I think with everything, it's probably hard for me because I'm just so inexperienced and like never play with those Pokemon. I'm sure if I have 3 seasons on my belt, I'm like, oh, I could get better at this. Because I don't know, because like we were saying in a conversation the other day, like you have to get experience to get better, So
Mhm.
it happens.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, I feel like that's kind of anything with life, even though it's like you're not going to know how to do something without at least experiencing it a little bit, kind of building yourself up for this task at hand. Like draft league kind of applies to that too. Like in the beginning, I always would try and run the same setup sweeping set and just lead off of it and just try and win right away with it when that's not always going to work.
Yeah, just like having variety with your sets, and of course, EV spreading like to be your specific opponent. It's like the main things of draft league, I think. 'Cause I mean, you could still win battles, of course, like if you're in a disadvantage. But it's a lot easier if you like prep super well and just like get to know your Pokemon, if that makes sense. Like if you know your Pokemon's weaknesses and strengths, then I think it just gets a lot easier. Especially if you've been using them for a bit. Maybe not in Draft League specifically, even in ladder, that helps a ton.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because when you get that comfortability with certain Pokemon, you use them a lot in draft or ladder. It just you know what this Pokemon can do. You know what it can tank. It's like you kind of know this Pokemon like the back of your hand. That's how I am kind of with certain Pokemon. Like there's one Pokemon Zygarde 50%. I've used that thing more times than I can count in draft league, and I'm just like, oh, there's an Ice type. Oh, I just put this spread in. Okay, he always lives, and we're good.
Yeah, I saw you and Byron uh, joking about Zygarde 50% being a bad Pokemon the other day, I think, in general chat of the SBG. Oh no! Oh my goodness, I messed up the name. SGBL. My bad.
No,
And
okay.
I was just, I was loving the banter between you guys, like always. It's always so enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoy. We always have good banter back and forth, and trust me, we also do this argument in outside of like Discord and everything because we see each other all the time, and we'll still argue about these things to this day. And I will always say Zygar 50% is better than Garchomp. I will always say it.
Yeah, I wonder. It's not hard to imagine what side of the equation Byron falls here, because he's a darn Gibble lover, right? For you.
Exactly. He loves the Gibble boy, which hey, I love them. I love it. It's adorable. However, when it comes to the final form, there's no match. It's too easy.
Yeah. Hey, just remember though, if you're really arguing about everything, just do a 1v1 and an ice beam kills Gibble right away. Hey, it could probably kill a Sideguard 50% with like if it has like no investment or anything too.
Yep. No, you're
It's
right about that. Gibble just always wins. It's too easy for him.
yeah.
Feel.
I think yeah. I was gonna say you do not want to give more fuel to Byron, man.
Yeah, I know. Watch. He's gonna see this one mess up I said. He's gonna go with it for days now.
Be like, I'll try to edit it now. I'm just joking.
Nah, it's all right. Leave it unedited. Let him hear it.
um,
Let him get his one win for now. He may have won in Jeopardy against me, but hey, everyone gets one.
hey, but just remember though, in Jeopardy, he also didn't win either. So is he really one to talk? It makes you
Exactly.
think, man.
No, exactly. Like he didn't even win. He's trying to act like he won that. He didn't win.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
thinks he won because he scored more.
The boy Sombra won it, right?
Exactly.
My
My boy
goat,
Sombra. The guy's the go
my
for that, for all the
my
help and fun.
Mexican king.
Yep. Love that guy. He's a
uh,
great dude.
yeah, he's awesome, man. Always such a fun chatter.
Yeah, for
But you know, now that I wanted to ask you because Byron didn't have the luxury to comment on these types of things. But so second I guess seasons with 5 divisions. How did week one go for you guys? Like, was
Oh
it
well.
did everything go swimmingly? It go smoothly? Or any type of metaphor you want to add?
Oh well.
Being good.
Yeah, I would say my week one battles both went swimmingly. Even my week two battle, I got to verse the Gibble himself, and let's just say it was too easy. I didn't even use half my team. It was just easy cleanup for me.
It was a light week. It was like a light brunch for you. Not even a
Exactly.
hassle, right?
Yeah, I know. I saw the team he brought. I'm like, okay, he just wants to lose. He's trying to throw here, and I don't even get why.
Eh, younger brothers just know their way around a Pokemon, right?
Exactly. Younger brothers on top all day. These
Yes,
older brothers
yes,
don't know
sir.
what they're doing.
Yep. Kind of. This is kind of a little tangent, but yeah, I'm a younger brother as well, the youngest of six.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh wow, that's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah, I'm the youngest brother, and I have me, my brother, and then we have a sister as well. But I'm the youngest.
yeah. Just there's something about those youngest brothers, right?
Yep, we're just better at everything. It's kind
Yeah.
of simple.
It's like we absorb their skills and just become better.
Exactly.
But with everybody else's like scheduling and stuff, it also went pretty well, right? From what I've heard.
Oh yeah, for sure. That the week one we everyone was doing their games on time. Like we had no issues. One division unfortunately had a forfeit, but honestly, when you're doing this many divisions, it's like it's bound to happen a couple times. And luckily,
Yeah.
were able to correct any issues like that happened. We had someone drop. I go, okay. I announced that we need a replacement. Within 5 seconds, my DM's like full of people like, hey, can I join? Can I join? I'm like, yes, please.
It's just amazing stuff, man. It's. I feel like I've never seen so many like I guess committed draft leaguers in just one spot. Because like you always say, there's always like 500 like dropouts in one season. It feels like, and there's always people like never playing on time. Like, so it's
Oh yeah,
always good to see the opposite of that. I guess
oh yeah, for
everyone
sure.
being focused. At least for week one, everything can change, of course.
Yeah,
There's
of
many
course.
weeks.
Because the thing is, we have in mind, we're like, okay, we have this many divisions of this people. We'll think at least like X amount of people are probably going to drop, and we still have replacement coaches, so we should be good. And then worst case, we do know a lot of people in the draft community, so we can always ask around, and we're sure there's people there who are interested.
Yeah, and like I think the biggest and like best part about the SGBL is not even like because draft leagues are cool, but I think a lot of people that like, aren't even playing make it such a great community just to be in, like in general.
Oh yeah, for
Like
sure.
I
I'll
like Emily right now is not playing, I don't think, and she always chats, and a few like replacement or like non-playing coaches just like chat it up and makes it feel very welcoming to anybody that may be new or even has a lot of experience.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know, especially you. Even like you're always chatting it up in general. Like new people join, you're one of the people that always greet them, and it's like it's nice to have people greet others, so we don't have to in a way. It's I love greeting new
Yeah.
people when we're both working and it's like someone else is available and they're doing it. It's just like a nice feeling to always make people feel welcome to the SGBL family.
Yeah, I mean the way I see it, right, of course, I've been doing the server, like helping the server of the CPL,
Mm-hmm.
try to grow and try to manage it. So I'm like, well, if I was me as like an admin or like a very experienced member in the community, I would want people to welcome other people in my server. So I do it whenever I can to in other servers as well.
Mm-hmm. No, of
But I think it's
course.
just try to pay it forward and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
of
I
course.
think I'm still like testing it out a little bit. I think welcoming people gets them to talk a little bit at least, and like it makes them stick around.
Yeah, of course.
Cause like
Because
I don't know, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
oh, my bad. No, I was gonna say it's like when you welcome someone like personally too. It's like these guys are the owners, but they're still like saying hi to everyone. It's not like we're just we're this big league now. We don't care with new people join. It's like no, we care about every single person who joins our server. We want everyone to feel comfortable, happy. We want it to be a safe spot. Like this is supposed to be fun for people, have talks, enjoy different things. Like it doesn't even have to be about Pokemon. You could just join the server, just chat it up with people, talk about different things. We try and like have other like on our server we have like other channels. You can talk about your favorite anime, sports, whatever you enjoy. Just come on in, have a nice talk, and have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like the biggest part of maybe like your success. I think too, or like the success you've had or have
Mhm.
will continue to have. Just trying to be very positive here. That like there's so many things you can talk about, and you don't even have to leave the server to like really do anything. And like I do like the fact like that you guys left general like chat rooms for the divisions like open to speak to like non league players, if that makes sense, or division
Mhm.
players.
Yeah.
So like if I'm bored one day, I might just go to like I don't know Mew division and just see what's going on and like try to like roast people or like make friends there. It'd be fun.
Yeah, of course. I
And,
always felt it was nice where I've seen other leagues do it. I'm like, yeah, let people talk in the general chats for each division because sometimes people are new to like certain metas that we do and they see cool things like, oh, that was really cool, that was really interesting. Like, oh, how'd you do that? And everyone has questions at times. Like it's nice to let people answer and talk about it, especially if you're very proud of like the site you brought that was really unique and took a lot of time for prep. It just brings joy to people.
yeah, it's just a very good thing to have just in general. Just like have more chances to talk with people. It's only good thing. It can only be good in my opinion.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
you talked a little bit about your first 2 weeks. Well, I guess like you played 3 games so far, right? In the league. Am I correct?
Yeah, yes, that's correct.
Is there any heat set or like a heat moment that you had in any of the games specifically this week and recently with your week 2 game?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, while me and my brother were playing, funny enough, I was like, okay, he's using Melmetal very off, like constantly, and I'm like, all right, just slowly chip this thing down, just slowly chipping it down. My game plan when I saw the match, I'm like, all right, as long as I get Melmetal down to a certain point, I can just get the pincer in, always lift this certain hit from a Tornadus, and just get one Swords Dance, and then that was a game right then and there.
Was there any heat set that you brought this week, or trying to save them for when you get closer to playoff time or in the playoffs? You don't have to share the sauce, of course, if you don't want to.
Of course, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have my heat sets yet. However, I do have some funny heat sets planned for Jinx and Radical Red, but I have to leave that a secret for now for when the opponent sees it.
Yeah, that's all good, man. we love draft league secrets and we love just jank in general. I think and like heat sets are amazing. Every time when they work, like
Oh yeah, for sure.
heat sets when they don't work. I mean, it's just kind of sad to see, but we've all been there. I think
Yeah.
we thought we had the metal breaker against our opponent and it just like dies in one shot or get
Oh,
taxed.
yeah, no, for sure. I actually had a very heat set in one league where I had a Primal Kyogre. They had Geomancy Xerneas. I was ready for my Primal Kyogre to psych up the Geomancy from the Xerneas, and he just switched. So it was a very unfortunate moment.
Yeah, but it happens, man. I just think it's always funny to be the one should try to like outplay your opponent like that. But it doesn't work out sometimes, and that's fine too. Sometimes it's just the thought that counts.
Oh yeah, of course. Like especially because when you see that he like even if you're and my opponent there was like, yo, that was hype right there. Even though it didn't work, it was just like, damn. It's nice to have the
Yeah,
appreciation from the opponent as well. They're like, yeah, that was fire. That set.
yeah, it's just awesome stuff. Uh, I guess let me boast a little bit. Because I don't think this is a heat set, but like Byron was out here making it look like it was like the heatest set of them all. Like it set like the world on fire. But I brought Grassy Seed, Unburden, Slurpuff to my first week in the league, and he was just like, "Oh, this is amazing! You EV'd it just so correctly, like you outsped everything." I'm like, "Well, it's kind of common in draft league, but thank you for the hype, I guess." The only thing I was proud of is that Goofy got a kill though.
Oh yeah, I watched that game. I was like, Grookey getting the kill. That was the heat moment of that game.
Yeah, it survived. Plus, I mean, it was burn. Let's be honest here. If it wasn't burn, the sad monkey would probably have died. But
Hey,
it lived because it was burned. It U-turned out. It brought my beloved Slurpuff in, and it just won me the game.
yeah,
If you really
no,
think about it, Rookie was the real MVP
yeah,
the whole
Grookey
time.
was. He helped pave the way. Grookey had
Yeah,
all
I
the
mean,
back strength for that Slurpuff to get that sweep.
yeah. And just forget that even without that, like even if it just died, we're just setting up grass train, I would have won. But we don't
Oh
think
yeah,
about
for sure.
that. Hey, it just wanted to make sure that Slurpuff wasn't the kill leader for this week. I respect it though.
Yeah, it had to have its moment of shine, saying Slurpuff, you're only doing this because I allow it.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy when I bring when Grookey is the kill leader by the end of the season, all because he stole Slurpuff's one kill.
Oh man, I'm rooting for that. Honestly, I love it when baby Pokemon or just random low tiers really go crazy. I know you're doing the low tier division, but there's still low tiers in low tier that don't get much love. And when I see them doing great, it just brings a smile to my face.
Yeah, man, I know that one of the Pokemon like that's just been killing it. I think it's like all the Quillfish and like the Overquill line, like all of them put in work. Like week one, I'm like, man, I see you, Quillfish, being a Giga Chad, just like being amazing at everything.
You just see the
Cause man,
Quillfish line. They're just walking in like, yes, this is my house now. I own this place.
yeah, and the crazy part is like all of them are kind of expensive. Like I mean, like not that much, but you see like Quillfish, and like what is this gonna even do, right? And then like oh well, 13. I think most of them were like around 13. I know Overcook's like 17. I think I'm not too sure. I haven't checked the pricing on Pokemon for like forever,
Hmm.
but it's just like all of them put in work. All of them are awesome Pokemon that in like normal draft league you wouldn't like. You could see a little bit of shine, but in lower tier they're just animals, man, and that's always fun to see. I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like just seeing all these low tier mons go crazy. Like now they have their place to shine, and it's just excellent to see. I'm
But
enjoying the low tier division a lot for that. Seeing all these low tier threats kind of do their thing, have their own place to shine.
yeah, for sure, man. Hey, though, but just to make this clear, Slurpuff, in my eyes, is not a low tier. It can wreck house in any league, in any match, I think. But that's just
Oh, I
my
100%. Oh, 100% agree with that. Slurpuff, I've seen it put in too much work in leagues. It was actually a kill leader in one division I was in. It was the not top division, but like the second highest. And Slurpuff was the kill leader, and it wasn't even close. I was so shocked by that.
Yeah. Cause man, though, but poor Slurpo, it has so many jobs in my team. I kind of misbuilt my team a little bit, but we don't talk about that. Like it's my
Sorry.
only whip setter, my only cleric, my only like really good setup sweeper. Because I mean, belly drum, unburdened, is just masterful. I think.
Oh yeah, of course. Hey, listen. It's just the mind games you get to play with your opponents because they'll never know which one you're bringing until it's too late.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably just bring that whip nightmare into every game I play. Probably it's gonna have a different role in every one. Imagine that.
Exactly. It's so versatile, that mon. It will do every single thing possible.
Yeah, it's just 1 week is just gonna be like a bulky calm minder that has like no use for unburden. The next one's gonna be like a sticky web lead.
Then, of
It can just do anything, man.
course, eventually you're going to bring the heat of the heat. You're going to endeavor something. They're going to switch out. Then you just miss the explosion, just stopping anything else from wanting to set up on it.
Yeah, it's just gonna be masterful. One of these days, they're gonna try to set up spikes on it and I'm gonna pull out the mirror magic coat.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna magic coat it away, or they're gonna try and taunt you with something faster. Magic coat up. Now you're taunted. Sorry,
Yeah,
bud.
the sash climb sport tech is gonna go crazy one of these days.
Oh man, I'm excited for that tech right there.
Yeah, not to, but like literally, I might have to use like literally all its moves one of these days.
Oh man, I'm excited for it.
It's gonna be crazy when I take out my unburdened boost because I steal your item.
Oh my god, you're just gonna steal every item. Just get rid of it. No more items for
It's
my
gonna be
opponent.
it's gonna be like I don't know if it gets it. Oh no, it doesn't get fling. I was hoping it got fling, but
Oh, that could have
imagine
been
fling
even more.
thief. Ooh,
Ooh, you just
that
flinged that flame orb. Oh no, you wanted those leftovers? Sorry, those are mine now.
yeah, there's just a lot of funny sets I think you could run. Even though it kind of has like a very oh man the copycat meta. Ooh, it's gonna be crazy.
Oh my god, you're gonna copycat and have mirror herb all at the same time. Just get all the boosts.
Yeah. But yeah, just cool stuff from Rookie, Slurpuff, and of course your Benny's brother. Always good feelings, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But because we're talking so much about Draft League, I was wondering what are some of the formats you've personally played in? I think you mentioned Ubers. I know Maddex is pretty big for Byron specifically. I don't know if that's the same for you. Yeah, just like walk me through fun formats or any formats really that you've played during draft.
Mm. Yeah, well, I've played a good amount of formats, I would say. I've done a season of stab mons. I've done a season of AAA, almost any ability. And I still do AAA to this day. I have a lot of fun with it because you can just get such creative sets with these mons. Like, you'll see the tier list for this and be so confused because why is Dodrio 11 points? Then you see with almost any ability, this mon can just wreck house on teams. And it's just
And
insane. But
Rockhead, right? Like Brave
oh
Birds
yeah,
and Double Edge. There's so many
yeah.
fun things.
No, it goes crazy, and it's just shocking to see. But the two modes I probably have the most fun with, I would say, and I try to play the most are Ubers and Radical Red. Ubers because I love using all these big broken mons, and Ubers right now, especially in Generation 9, is a very offensive metagame where it's harder to play defensively because all these big threats going around, it's just there's no true way to wall them, and then it becomes more mind games, something I feel I've done way too much of, but I always enjoy it because it's like, okay, which way is my opponent going to go with this? How can I predict it? And I've just had a lot of fun with it. In Ubers, I feel like you get more mind games than anything else because you have these crazy threats going around and you're just trying to figure out how the hell do I even deal with this thing. And yeah, Ubers has just been a lot of fun for me. But then Radical Red has just always had a place in my heart because I've played that game a numerous amount of times, doing it on hardcore mode, regular mode, Man, you don't understand how long I played hardcore mode of that game. It took me so long just to beat it on a casual playthrough because I kept getting stuck at the first gem because I just couldn't find a good encounter to help deal with this broken sand team for the first gem. I finally
Yeah,
figured it out. I got through it, but playing Radical Red just competitively has been a lot of fun because all these different mons that got buffed and got new moves or stat changes, it just really is a completely different meta game. Like you think, oh, Pikachu's here. What did he get changed? Oh, its stats look the same. But then you realize Pikachu also has new forms now. It has the Bell form, which is ice electric now, and gets stab icicle crash. It gets all these new moves. Now it's a real threat, and you actually have to prep for it and wonder, okay, what other new changes are there? And Radical Red's just been a lot of fun for me because there's new megas, there's just new forms for like Pokemon, and there's just so much to it that I've always had a lot of fun with it.
yeah, because I kind of don't like Radical Red like as a playthrough personally. Like I think it's great for what they're doing, right? Like, but I think there's other like balance slash like I guess like I don't know variety ROM hacks out
Mm-hmm.
there. But I think competitively wise, like it has like so many fun things that you can just like bring out at any time.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
and like all the move changes are pretty reasonable. Personally, I just like how everything gets Urshifu's signature move, Wicked Blow, like Drapion gets hits. And I feel like that could just be really fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's crazy when you see Drapion like so high in the tier list. Like why is this thing so high? It's usually not that good. Then you see it gets Wicked Blow. It's like, oh wow, it's a big buff. But then you remember its ability is also Sniper, so those crits are doing way more damage than they should be.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just such a fun thing. Like just like I guess theorycraft, especially because it's not like a quote unquote official format or like it's more like a niche draft league division slash I guess what format. Yeah, like I said, but it's cool to see like weaker mons. Like I know cast form is pretty great. I mean, it gets like a slight buff change, but like, I mean, the stat buff, but mostly its ability change is what really makes it like super good. Oh, good enough to run and draft. I
Oh
should
yeah, for
add.
sure. Yeah, no, there was someone actually in one draft league. They had cast form, and they would always use it just to set up their weather sweepers all the time, or their Heliolisk with spamming Boom Burst, and the changes to Solar Power where you don't take the 12% every turn, you just get the boost. And it's like, wow, there's really no switching to this. This thing is just a monster. But another cool thing with that actually draft is someone drafted an entire team of mons that were 6 points or less, and they made playoffs still, which I found insane.
Man, what a Chad gaming experience that must have been.
Oh yeah, I know. Trust me, I lost to them because they just brought things, and I was so confused. I'm like, I have no idea what they're bringing because everything's around the same points, and they made a very well constructed team.
Yeah, I mean, I think like having like low point wonders, I guess that's just like really, really cool stuff. Because I know we kind of joked about Grookey a little bit, but like that one is kind of vital to like some of the stuff I want to run, and I'm just happy I got to pick it up for 1 point, And like I think like mons like that is what makes you really fall in love with Draft League. I think personally, just like bringing the little goobers that are like 7, 6 points or under, and just having fun with them still, even though they're seen as like quote unquote bad Pokemon.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I've had a love for Kecleon outside of this generation just because I've used that thing so many times. Like, oh no, they have a Latios, they have a Dragapult. I have a Kecleon that can just always 1v1, which I always found hilarious.
Yeah, don't. Its bulk can go kind of crazy with an assault vest.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you just slap an assault vest on him, and then it has crazy coverage. It's like, yep, good luck dealing with this.
Yeah, and even like the protein ability, the pre this gen is also pretty useful too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because there can still be use. Like, say you really just want to stay a dark type and avoid prankster with it. Now you just knock off first, and now you're a dark type that has really good Spadef, and makes it harder to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, there's always like positives and negatives to everything, right? But
Mhm.
it's like I think it's a net negative, but yeah, like there's still uses for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like just
Or
because
like
the
even
ability got nerfed, there's still use for the mon.
yeah, you could easily just shadow sneak, and now you're a spin blocker, like for until you switch out, and that's very useful too. A lot of great typings, great moves it learns,
Mhm.
just to like kind of like stall things out a little bit, especially on the special side.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like good luck dealing with a Kecleon when your special attackers don't have any way to go to the physical side for damage.
Yeah, it's just very goaded. I think, my opinion, of course. It's and a cool one too. I love its design. It's
Oh
just a little
yeah.
chameleon. A chameleon. I mean, my goodness, I'm thinking too much about Pokemon now.
Nah, man, you're good. There's Pokemon of every single thing that exists now.
Yeah. Hey, there's not a platypus Pokemon, so
Not yet.
we're still
You
waiting
never
for
know.
that.
I wait for the Gen 9 DLC. We might get a Platypus Legendary.
Yeah, that'd be very awesome. Little platypi here.
We'll have a platypus that always wears a hat. Give
Yeah, it's Perry, best nickname of all time.
Oh for sure. I think that's like guarantee. It has to be nicknamed Perry at least once.
Yeah, but I guess stepping a bit back from Draft League. What made you want to play Pokemon like competitively,
Yeah,
or was
so
it
I
just Draft League?
so I've always enjoyed like Pokemon the games and everything, and my brother introduced me to random battles on Showdown, and I just had a lot of fun with it. We would play like all the time, just me and him, just playing each other, and we would honestly just play hours on end, constantly battling, and we've had a lot of enjoyment with it. Then he actually started doing a draft league at first, and I would watch him. I would actually help him prep for games, like thinking of like crazy sets, and I had a lot of fun with it. Then I was like, oh, maybe I can start doing this too, and I started going out there exploring like different things. I found different servers from him at the time, just because every server he did, he was either being a replacement coach because he was just starting out and just trying to play new metas, just trying to play the game itself, honestly. And I was like, all right, let me see if I could go in this now and start playing. And thankfully, he helped me find my first league that I played in, and I had a lot of fun with it. But unfortunately, the season got cut short because the owner just like deleted the server out of nowhere, and me and him were just like in awe of like what happened. We're like, what's going on? And I tried messaging the guy, but the messages were always blocked for some reason. So I was
Yeah,
very confused.
you have to share a server to send messages most of the time.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. At the time, I didn't know that because I was still new to Discord as well. So I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, so it was Ranbat and then Draft League Pipeline.
Yeah,
That's
honestly.
how. So you haven't dabbled in like any other ladders, like OU of course is really big. I'm a big lower ladder guy, specifically like NU and like below. You never dabbled in any of those lower leagues.
Oh no, actually, I have dabbled in ladder for a fair amount of time, but it's like I played it a little bit, but then I would get bored of it because I felt like I was versing the same teams, or I would have to go against a stall team, and I would literally rage quit. I would literally close my laptop and just leave, and then not want to play anymore because my luck is I always get to fight the stall teams in OU.
Yeah, man, there's just a lot of great stall ones. But I mean, it kind of feels less so nowadays because like there's so many great offensive like breakers now.
Mhm.
Like imagine telling people like, oh yeah, there's like a water type Pokemon that can kill Toxapex in like in the rain, like in Gen 7. Like people would not believe you, man. But yeah,
Yeah, I
like
know.
there's a Dracovish superiority, right? With
Oh
it,
yeah, I
Fish's
loved
friend.
seeing it. Yep, Fish's Run, the most broken move ever. You would think Palafin's Wave Crash would be stronger because his attack stat's way higher. I actually saw a calc on it. Dragovish's Fish's Rend is still stronger.
Yeah, it's just a demon, man. Even though that's like Fisherman is like the only good move it gets, maybe Outrage, but we don't talk
Yeah,
about
and
that.
Yeah, you click the one funny fishes run button and you just call it a day.
Yeah, even if it resists, you can still take like 50% if you're faster than it. It's just nuts, man.
Yeah. There's a love for Dracofish. When I saw those, I'm like, good. Get rid of these stall mons. We don't need them.
Yeah, just funny stuff, man. Just funny fish fossil that's upside down. Oh no, it's not. Well, I guess it's sort of upside down because its head is on its tail.
Is it really? I actually did not know that.
Yeah, yeah. It's at the top of its tail.
Oh
Here,
wow.
I'll send you. I don't know if you search it up properly, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I'm searching this up now.
yeah, because it has its like it's I guess like there's like a slit in its lower legs where its head's supposed to go, but they put the head at its tail,
Oh
on
my
top of
god,
its
you're
tail.
right. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, when you make Pokemon Jeopardy questions, you pay attention to every detail. But yeah, it's just a great. I don't know if you actually know this, but the origins of the fossils from Gen 8 were because English paleontologists earlier on would just like glue things together from different dinosaurs to one. So they would
Mhm.
like, this is a T Rex skull. It goes in this like Velociraptor's body, and so you just have like amalgamations of like different dinosaur parts, even though like they never went together, and that's the inspiration for the fossils.
Oh wow, it's actually very interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's just it's crazy how Pokemon can be pretty creative sometimes.
Oh yeah,
And then
for
you just
sure.
have like a koala Pokemon with a log,
Yeah, I know.
or you just have a giraffe.
You just a giraffe or a flamingo named Flamigo because he's the
Yeah,
homie.
just amazing peak designs, and then you have a fossil. No, I'm just joking. I do love Komala though. One of my favorite Pokemons.
Oh yeah, that thing is great. It's in draft and just in general. It's just an adorable little guy.
But because we're talking about Pokemons that we personally love, is there any mons that you personally like been attached to because of draft? Like you maybe like you draft them all the time, but maybe you just like you use them once and like they won you a game and now like they're in your heart forever.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, the first mon that comes to mind for me is Zygarde 50%, funny enough, because I've used that thing in every single way possible, like that you can think of for a set, like offensively, defensively. If you list a move on it, I've probably used it because I've used that thing more than any other mon in draft. And I've just had a lot of fun using it many different ways because its stat spread is perfect where you can do any type of set you want with it because it has a good enough move pool on the physical or special side where you can choose which way you want it to be a sweeper for you. Or if you need it more defensively, it has really good defensive moves with Glare, Toxic. It just can do anything you want. Even has Haze, which most people probably don't realize because why run Haze on that thing? But I've actually found use for a Haze Rocky Helmet set to help wall certain crazy physical monsters. But then Gen 8 brought one mon that I just fell in love with instantly. It was Regieleki because I saw that speed stat. I'm like, yes, I need this thing.
Yeah, like
Just
most teams don't even have a Scarfer that will outspeed it sometimes, just because how people build teams.
yeah, for
Just
sure.
crazy
Like
stuff.
it was crazy because it came back in Gen 9 and then if you use Regieleki correctly, it outspeeds a Scarf Iron Valiant, who's already very fast, and it still outspeeds it with the right investment, which just sounds insane to me.
But because you mentioned all the moves you could use on Zygarde, let's play a little I guess like a game show. I'm gonna tell you a move from Zygarde's move set and I'm gonna ask you if you've used it in any capacity. Does that
Sounds
sound
good.
fun, man?
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
it.
This one should be pretty simple. Paint split.
I've used it.
Draco Meteor.
Yep, used that. White Herb Draco Meteor.
This one's pretty easy though, I think. High horsepower.
Yep. Actually, let me think. Yes, I did use it actually because there was a damage roll where that would kill, and Thousand Arrows would not on something.
1,000 waves.
Yes, I have actually. I've used that for a trapping set to trap a Hippowdon and then Toxic Stall it to 1v1 it.
Man, let's see. Sludge Wave.
Yep, that was a special set, a substitute special set to 1v1 a Chestnut, thinking it can easily switch in. Then I clicked the Sludge Wave on it, and it was easy two-shot.
Let's try this one. Core Enforcer.
Yep, I used that against the Crawdon in a game that I was setting up. I was able to two-shot it because I got the Toxic off, Core Enforcered it twice, and it lost its ability because I was slower.
Okay, we're gonna do some moves that are quote unquote usually useless. Let's see. Have you ever used Lance Wrath?
No, actually. I think that's the only Zygarde signature move I did not use. First time for everything. I gotta
Have
use
you?
that now.
Yeah. Have you used Skitter Smack?
Oh, all the time. That's a staple on sweeping Zygarde physical sets. You run Dragon Dance, Substitute, Skitter Smack, 1,000 Arrows. It hits all
Have
the
you ever?
special attacks.
Have you ever used Dragon's Breath?
Dragon's Breath. No, I have not. I actually thought about using it once because of that extra paralysis rate, but I just missed out on a roll.
This might be very obscure, but Camouflage.
Yes. I had a camouflage. I had a hilarious set with Zygarde, actually. It was Coil Camouflage to become a normal type, then Extreme Speed.
That seems pretty funny, man. Let's see. Have you used Breaking Swipe?
Yes, I have, because there were certain physical threats. I was like, all right, this thing could kill, and then Zygarde doesn't have good physical dragon moves outside of Outrage. It has Scale Shot now, but at the time it didn't. So I'm like, okay, Breaking Swipes, make these things weaker, and you're never breaking the substitute.
Yeah. Have you used Bind?
Bind? No, I
Yeah.
have not. Unfortunately, I
Okay.
instead of Bind, I used the
Block.
Block. No, I have not. Now we're
So you
getting to
haven't
the
used.
really crazy ones. There's a couple.
I imagine you haven't used Endure yet.
Endure. Funny enough, I have.
Ah,
Endure Extreme Speed with Rocky Helmet.
wow. Let's see. Retaliate.
Nope. I'll admit it. I've never used that.
Reversal.
Reversal? No, I'm upset I've never used it because I had sets to use reversal on it, but I was like, but then the team just had too many ghost types. I'm like, it just doesn't do enough damage.
Oh, this one might be maybe not crazy, but crazy with this Pokemon. Have you used Shockwave?
No, I have not, because it was just, honestly, I forgot he got Shockwave. I'll be honest.
Oh, this one could be kind of heat, especially if you used it. Have you ever used Spite?
Spite?
Spite.
I really should have used it. I had Spite on a moveset for it because I had a team where I could not switch into Melmetal at all, and my plan was just to basically stall out the PP for the double Iron Bash, and I forgot to put Spite on it. I was very upset with it.
Man, I can't believe you're a fraud. No, I'm just joking. Have you ever used Snore?
Snore? No, because I never run rest on it. That's the thing.
Have you ever ran Payback?
Payback? No, because 1,000 Arrows was just sweeping things at that point.
Yeah, that's basically all. I mean, have you ever used Confide? I mean, that'd be a crazy thing to use.
Confide? No, I have not, because I just couldn't find use for it. Trust me, I've looked at this whole move set. I've used, I would say, roughly 70%.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of its movers are really good for draft. I mean, like, you can run like a funny, spec set with like, Core Enforcer and Focus Blast, Earth Power, and I was gonna say Scorching Sand, but that's also Earth Power kind of helps you with that, right? I mean, like you can use Hidden Power if the league allows it, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Stuff
Hidden
like
Power
that.
Zygarde would be hilarious.
And then or you need a fourth move. You can always run Shockwave, of course. The best move of all time.
Oh yeah, I gotta use a Zygarde with Shockwave now. That's on my list of things.
It's gonna be crazy when you kill a Gyarados with that.
Yep, he's never gonna see it coming either. I'll be minus special attack and just easily 2-shot.
Yeah, very easily, right?
Yep, very easily.
Hey man, you could probably a Caterpie's Electro Web can probably kill a Gyarados sometimes.
Yep, for sure. Honestly, it's just that 4 times weakness. You never like to see it.
Yeah, if you're not running a berry, almost anything can kill you.
Yeah, that's the use for super effective berries. It was funny actually. In a draft league match, someone ran 6 super effective berries against me because they just did not want to get hit with super effective moves. I'm like, good for you, dude.
I imagine they lost that game, right?
No, they actually won because they had a Zamazenta hero form, and my team just couldn't handle that thing because,
Because
of
of the
course,
berry.
illegal out it. No, the berry
Yeah,
allowed the one thing I had to break it, and it just did its thing. It was unfortunate that game.
it happens to the best of us.
Yeah,
Maybe it was 5 weakness berries. You would have had a chance. But
I mean, honestly, it just caught me by shock. I'm like, who brings this many?
just funny stuff, man.
Oh yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
but I guess we'll stop talking about competitive. Let me get your feedback from this. But how did you find Pokemon Jeopardy, man?
Oh man, I loved Pokemon Jeopardy. Honestly, me and my brother talked about it. We're just like, this was so much fun. It was very well done, and all the topics we enjoyed a lot. I I didn't like that he had more of an idea about them. I felt like, but you know what? When you bribe the host a little, no, I'm just kidding.
Nah, no, but don't worry. I'm not telling the categories or the idea of the next one on anybody. Complete secret.
Are you
Mostly
sure?
because I haven't done most of the categories, but
That's fair. Don't worry, the wire transfer will go through. Maybe I'll get it. I'll get to know one of them.
be like, imagine I just DM you all the categories names.
You just see
Yeah,
me with research on research about every single thing about each category.
but I mean, you gotta remember though, this is gonna come out in like a week, so I could realistically just tell you like a category idea, and like no one would know.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, we can honestly discuss everything about the next Jeopardy, and they won't even know we talked about it beforehand.
Yeah, imagine I released this episode like on a Sunday or like or a normal Wednesday, and then Byron here said, "This is why I lost. Like this is why Adam just got like literally all the questions right."
Yeah, and I'll just tell him get better, kid, even though he's older than me.
Yeah, that's like the worst thing a big brother can probably hear. I mean, I wouldn't know, of course.
Yeah, of course. No, I wouldn't know
It
either.
hurts the ego at least a little bit.
Just a little.
Was there any favorite category or question that you? Because the one that the second one was a lot easier than the first one that I'm pretty sure I shared with you too, or at least Byron I think might have shared it with you. Not too
Oh,
sure.
oh yeah, you went over the first one with me and him early because we were waiting for Sombra or a third person, and
Yeah,
it was no. You showed us like how it would go and everything, and I kind of enjoyed all the categories. I found them all interesting. I like the before and after too because you got to like think about it and kind of think on the spot right away. Like, okay, this means this, and then what's the second part? It's this, okay, and then you're trying to answer before anyone else.
yeah. I mean, what I feel like a lot of people still don't get it though, because like I mean, I can use this example, but it's my favorite example. Like it has to be continuous. Like you could say, realistically, if you wanted to, you could say into one word. And like my favorite example of that is Gang Garchomp. Mostly because Garchomp is y'all's mascot, one of your mascots for
Hmm.
Byron. But it's just so easy to understand. I think like Gang Garchomp,
Yeah,
which
for
is
sure.
like 3 words.
No, for
And, but
sure. It's simple to understand.
yeah, I to be honest with you, maybe this is some spoiling. I think I might do more before and afters. Maybe not this one, but probably this one. If not, like then the next one.
Find out on the next time of Jeopardy. We'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. I don't know. I kind of wanna screen record it maybe just to see how it go. or maybe get like one of the contestants to record it just to, I don't know, just to have it. I feel like it would be fun just to upload random like clips or something.
Oh yeah, for
I don't know.
sure. I mean, Pokemon
That
Jeopardy
might
was a
be
lot of fun.
that might be like a future thing, or maybe like if I ever get like a computer or something, just like get like OBS and just record it.
I mean, yeah, for sure. It definitely could be a fun thing, especially add some diversity with your channel. It definitely could be a cool option to have.
Yeah, yeah. Man. But yeah, I mean, like, would you? Is there any like feedback? Any? I mean, it's fine. You can roast me all you want now, and stuff like that. Is there anything like you would try to like fix or like help with Pokemon Jeopardy? I know it's kind of scuff, right? BC, and that's basically it. I screen record, screen share. My bad. My phone, and it could be kind of scuff sometimes,
Mhm.
especially because like no real buzzer sounds.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the only thing I guess I would say is for an improvement is to somehow get a buzzer sound, but
Just I
that's like the
think
trickiest thing.
I think you can add sounds in here. I don't know how. I think you have to
So
have permissions or something.
yeah, I mean, so there is one thing you could do, which would probably annoy everyone if you do the soundboard, but I mean, you'd have to just add that sound on your server. I'm sure it shouldn't be too bad. I could talk to one of the mods in my server. They added one, and I'm like, I don't want to add more because I know you guys are gonna spam the hell out of these things.
Yeah, I haven't really played around too much with that because I know I was hearing somebody and they're saying, "Oh yeah, you can add sounds and stuff, like basically program them in." But
Mhm.
too sure about all that. At least
Yeah,
for now.
yeah. For now, at least. I mean, again, I think it's fine the way it is because it's just simple. Have fun with it. Nothing too crazy. It's enjoyable. I'm sure whoever's seen Jeopardy will enjoy it, and anyone who thinks they know all this Pokemon trivia, then they go into that. It's like, damn, I knew nothing.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because I'm pretty sure I didn't tell you. I told more Byron about this. But yeah, some people did not know anything about some categories. Like I know the big one is the what's it called the counterparts, like the version exclusives, or sometimes like non generation exclusives. If that makes sense, like Pinsir, Heracross, kind of.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
that's like
people
one
are like
thing people don't know unless they had both games and they've really like looked into it.
yeah, but I do think it was a big L for my part. The first one was a lot harder than the second one.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, man,
you talked about this though, how you want to like split it up, make some make it typically easier for people, and then do like a challenge one for those who really know their stuff. And I'm excited for either or, honestly.
I might, to be honest with you, maybe this is, Jeopardy spoilers or whatever. I'm gonna try to make I'm gonna probably flip flop. So
Mhm.
like even or easy, odd or hard and longer. Wait, that's a horrible sound clip to put out there, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, don't worry, dude. You're good.
But yeah, just have more questions and make them just more difficult.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean,
Just
hey,
like, because who would know about Whip Dream and a Sachet, man?
yeah, I know. We were all stumped on that one.
Yeah, it's just, man, the 600 ones were so impossible for a lot of
uh,
people.
yeah, for sure. But the thing is, like, these are the highest value ones. You want to really make these hard to get.
Yeah, like I don't even think no one knew the Mantine and Skarmy question. Like nobody knew they were even in the same gen. Everybody thinks Skarmory is Gen 2, I mean Gen 3, and Mantine is Gen 4 because of Mantine.
Oh yeah, for sure. Trust me. I've said Skarmory's a Gen 3 Pokemon more times than I remember, and I'm like, oh wait, I am still wrong.
Yeah, and most people don't even know they're version exclusives too. They might have not been, but they're the counterparts though. And
Yeah,
like,
it's It's a good question, I feel, though, because like it's more knowledge and things that typically people don't know, so it makes it more interesting.
Yeah, and like nobody knew the Clefable question too. I don't know if you had the chance to see it, but it's talking about how it was Gen 4 UU, but it got played in OU now more, and then in Gen 5 it was seen as an RU mon, and now of course after it became a fairy, it's been OU ever since. Like no one knew that. Well, I never said it got a new typing though in Gen 6, but that would have made it too easy, I think.
Yeah, if you said the new typing and the stat change, it would be like, oh, Clefable. Like anyone who knows that mon.
But the question I was so proud of, and I was so sad that nobody got, was this one. It was the 600 Gen 9 Pokemon one, and this is the question. This Pokemon is non-binary in more than one way. And no one, let's see if you, what would you have guessed right there?
I would have
Normally,
said Iron Valiant.
yeah, and no one got it. I was like,
Oh man, that should be a gimme. That shouldn't even.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was my fault. I kind of scuffed this up. For my 500 one, it was this Pokemon can bring in the dough just by not again. Mike, sorry about that.
you're good. Don't worry.
Yeah, so it can bring in the dough just by existing, and it was a play on Fido, but then people were like, "Oh, then go!" I was like, oh my goodness, I should have put better indication. I put dog Pokemon now, but
Yeah, I
it's a
mean,
humble.
I think as long as they say Fido or its evolution, then I think it should be fine because like the dog bred Pokemon.
I know you and your brother had a really hard time with the Ice Cube and Stone Journer question. Oh no, maybe but just Byron. But
Oh no, I struggled with that because I had no idea. He knew that because I think you let him know about it. And I was like, oh, you lucky mother! I'm not gonna curse.
yeah, hey, yeah, it's a fun time. But okay, we'll stop talking about Pokemon Jeopardy at least for the time being. When I have you and your brother on, probably sooner or later, you guys can bicker about who's actually the Pokemon Jeopardy master.
Oh
When you
yeah,
when
for
you win
sure.
this Jeopardy by a landslide randomly, right?
Yeah, no, that's the plan. I've been honing on my possible Jeopardy questions and everything, so I'm ready to go this time.
Oh wait, I guess we'll be in Pokemon Jeopardy at least a bit longer. I don't know if I like this or not, but for the first one, I released the categories names, not what they contain, of course. Well, some of them are quite easily like Gen 9 Pokemon, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that again. I liked it. It gave everybody like a little heads up.
Mm. I mean, honestly, I think the surprise factor also like is better because it's like some people will like see the topics and then research and try and get like know more. So it's like I feel just use the knowledge you have beforehand and just accept that you don't know everything.
Yeah, and I'll probably try it again with no category shown to the players and just keep it like that
Yeah, for
because
sure.
I think it's fun. I think the name specifically in the second one were just so much funnier. Because for the people that might not know, because I feel like a lot of them, of course, would not know because only like 8 people played Jeopardy or so last week or so. I could be wrong, but so these were the categories name: Hoenn and Hoenn, a classic, of course.
Of course.
Johto Journeys, Who's That Pokemon? Right, classic. And then Pokemon GeoGuessr or Poke GeoGuessr. And I was very very proud of that category name. And of course, before and after.
Oh yeah,
The goaded
PokeGeoGuessr is
category.
a great one.
Yeah, just awesome stuff. But Pokemon Jeopardy and Pokemon aside, I hear you're a big travel guy, man.
Oh yeah, man. For my job, I kind of travel state to state all the time, and I've been to at least like 10 different states now, all over the United States, and I've been able to see cool things here and there. Like I currently live in the New York area, but for work, I've been to New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia. I've been to DC a couple times. I've been to California. I've been to Washington State and Seattle. I've been to all these different places for work, and I've just enjoyed different things, different places to see. Because when you get to travel like I do, you get to see all these different places, all these different people. Because where you're from, it's nice to see like your daily every life, but then you get to go to these other places and see kind of how their life is. It almost feels like you're in a whole new place, even though you're in the same country of the U.S. It's just like every state kind of feels like its own thing because they all have their own like monument or place to see, and it's just really cool to see all these different places.
Yeah, like America is probably the best at this, but there's like even other countries as well. Like every state, especially, just feels so different from one another. Like it feels like, and even sometimes you could be in the same state and just like go more north or south, and it'll just feel completely different.
Oh yeah, for sure, because the way of life could just be different from what you're used to, even though you're in the same state that you are. Like one thing I've been trying to do is for my job, since I travel so much, I enjoy smoking hookah a lot, and I've gone to a hookah lounge in every state, man.
And
Just
man,
trying
that
to
sounds
go see like how it is over there, try out their like unique flavor, and I've just enjoyed it a lot.
man, that sounds like like a fun time.
Oh yeah, for sure. I always tell my coworkers come with me, and then some are like, "Yeah, sure, let's go. It sounds like a good time." And then some are like, "Yeah, I'm tired from work." I'm like, "Dude, come on, it'll be a good time."
Yeah, it sounds like a wonderful time, man. Has there been any out of non, I guess, New York State that you've personally just like been really attached to? Like, would you say like that might you might say like it's your second home, or like it's so like a little piece of your heart away?
Oh yeah, for sure. When I went to Seattle for a work like meeting, I guess you could say, it was just seeing the area we were in was just so beautiful. It was like a small little town area, so peaceful. It was by the water and everything. You had just this beautiful view of everything. You just walk around and kind of see everything you need for like a daily life. It was just like a walking distance away, and it just put me in awe of like, wow, this would just be nice to be here.
And yeah, Seattle is just and Washington as a whole, it seems just like a wonderful state just to live with. I mean, the rain it probably gets annoying for the locals, right? But
Mhm.
aside from that, it's just like a very beautiful state from everything I've seen.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's again, obviously there's rain there, right? If that's like the biggest issue, I feel like that's not that big a problem because you deal with hurricanes, earthquakes, all these other crazy things in other places. It's like if their big issue is just rains more, I think I'll take that over a hurricane or something crazier.
Yeah, but some people have like different preferences and stuff, so
Mhm.
it could be tough for some people out there. But yeah, I mean, rain is not too bad. I kind of prefer the rain. Honestly, it's a
Mhm.
great time, I think, with with like rainy weather.
Oh
Though
yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
as long as it doesn't get hot out, like right after, then you'll be
Yeah.
fine. Because man, uh, like moist hotness, humid hotness is no bueno, man.
Oh man, you don't understand. I hate humidity. I'll take dry heat over humidity any day.
Yeah, like even recently, right? Like I live more down south, of course. And man, like it started raining, and like it would tell like the temperature is like 95 degrees, but it feels like 120. It's like, man, how is that even possible? It's
Oh
just
man. Mm,
it's no fun. Let me
yeah,
just say
man,
that.
for sure.
At least with like New York and stuff, I mean, it gets kind of cold. I mean, the heat can kind of get unbearable when it gets really hot, but it seems like a cool place to live in general.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I love New York because you can kind of see a little bit of everything, like personality, people. Like you'll see everything. You ever visit Manhattan and you can just see everything there. You'll see every
Um,
single type of person, culture. You can walk one block and just get anything you need. It's just a really cool environment.
yeah, it just seems like I always hear about like specifically like I guess like the food trucks there too. Like you could
Oh yeah.
basically if you're in New York City more specifically, I guess like you just see like any type of food truck you can't even imagine like all cuisines and stuff. That's a
Oh
very cool spot.
Yeah, there's some great spots there. And just you could just go to New York. There's a lot of tourists everywhere. There's just so many different attractions, so many places to see. There's a lot to do there. Like people in New York are like, yeah, it's I live here, so it's not that special, but I still find a great enjoyment with it.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like it's so cool, and the diversity is just super awesome. I think that's what life is about, just like finding other cultures, and getting to enjoy them too, and like getting to be able to like share like like meals and stuff with people that that are different, just different.
Hmm. Oh yeah, for sure.
uh how about this? You might piss off some people, but is there any state or location that you went to that you just absolutely hated? Could be like like the geography, it was like really moist and like really humid and it was awful. Or maybe just like like you had bad experiences like in the hotel or with some people there. You want to
Oh
spill
yeah.
the tea on that?
Yeah, sure, why not? So I visited Odessa, Texas, and I'll just be honest, I was not a fan of it because it was a very like dry area. It was like all desert basically around, and your options for like different foods you can get Mexican food and you can get Mexican food. That's really your only option there. I'm like, I kind of want some diversity.
Yeah, I mean, every food is amazing, right? Like, every cuisine is just, chef's kiss. But when you're forced to eat it all the time, then no good, man.
Yeah, man, I enjoy like Mexican food. I enjoy a lot of different varieties, but it's like I don't want to be forced to eat the same damn meal all the time.
So, was there any like groceries stores in the area at least? You can maybe like buy a steak or something,
Oh
or was
yeah,
there not really an option?
there were definitely grocery stores, but the thing is for work, we're traveling, we're in a hotel, so it's like I want to go buy a steak, but that's like how am I even
Yeah,
gonna cook
no.
this thing?
Yeah, you can always buy one of those like small heaters or whatever, and just plugging them up. I mean, it's a safety hazard, of course. What's better, a fire or a good steak?
Oh
What
yeah,
you
of
would?
course. It depends who you ask.
Yeah. Don't ask an arsonist this question, of course, but
Oh yeah, they're slightly biased towards the steaks, obviously.
yeah, of course. Or vegans too, of course, because you ask them that they're like, "How we can it's fine. We can burn down the meat factory and take away all the animals
Yeah, for sure.
and
It's
put them on a barn."
yeah.
But you don't have to answer this, of course. But what do you work in, man? Of course, you don't have to share. But
Oh no, it's no
just
problem. So I currently work for a company where we install medical equipment all over the US for hospitals. So we kind of go in there. We'll start with a room that's just bare and like completely nothing there, and we'll install this entire X-ray system from the ground up. Basically, we'll have our room set up our rails, get everything in the ceiling, and just kind of just go to town on it. Honestly, it takes us about a week or so to install these things, but it's a lot of fun and I enjoy it.
man, that's that's awesome, man. And just gonna say appreciate probably all the work that you and your team do, man, because that's very important stuff, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's crazy how precise you have to be because there's times we have to measure things and you got to be precise to the exact millimeter, not inch, not centimeter, to the exact millimeter. If things are slightly off, your job site will get paused, and a group of construction workers have to come in and correct that issue, which it can get hectic sometimes.
Man, yeah, that sounds like a nightmare, but I'm sure you guys are happy when you guys do get it done, and it is perfect, right? Just
Oh
like
yeah.
probably more relief more than anything, but probably happiness that you're able to install like such an important parts of equipment that that are basically needed, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, it's like I find an enjoyment out of it because we install this equipment. It's nice. This hospital gets the benefit from it and all of it, but it's really because once this stuff gets installed, then the people it can go out and help save lives and everything, especially when we're doing it in these cath labs for these people who need heart surgery. It's just a great feeling knowing that I was able to go out there, make a difference, get these people these surgical suites that they need, to help go out there and save these lives.
Yeah, man. I mean, it can probably get really stressful at times. I can imagine, right? Like you said, like if it is millimeter like precise, then I'm sure there's like some type of nerves in there. Because I mean, like it's part of being human, right? Just like you kind of get nervous at some things, but yeah, just pretty awesome to know about that, man. And it makes sense then why you can be like so busy at work and stuff. You're a busy man sometimes.
Oh yeah, of course, dude. You understand. There's times on end where I'm working, going from state to state, just traveling. I'm not home. I miss my bed, and it's just like this stuff has to get installed now. So it's like, well, these hotel beds will have to do for now.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm sure that some people would not trade it for anything in the world, though, right? I mean, just knowing that you can help people, that's enough motivation for some. And I applaud those people
Oh
because
yeah, for sure.
it's hard, man. I can only imagine it being really hard.
Yeah, man, it's hard to get into. It's kind of once you start getting the feel for things, you get an understanding of it. It starts becoming used to it. I feel it's like kind of with any job in a way, though. Like you'll start off fresh, you're the new guy, you're just trying to get a hang of things. You're learning all these different things. This piece of equipment goes here. This part has to be connected like this. It just always feels overwhelming. But then, as long as you're able to persevere and just keep pushing forward, I think anyone can kind of do what they want.
Yeah, I mean, it's just very cool, man. Very cool. And maybe how did you kind of get started with this? Was this like kind of always the plan, or did something kind of like drive you to be that? Or circumstances too can always pop up, right?
Yeah, of course. So I finished college with my electrical engineering degree, and I'm like, all right, let's go try and find a job now. And I was applying for a couple months, and I was just looking for a job, looking for a job. It was hard to find one, and then I get a message on LinkedIn like, hey, would you be interested for this position? They describe the position I'm in now, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds very interesting. Can I apply? I apply, go through the interview process, talk with my current manager and my current boss, and have a really good talk with them. They kind of get me very interested in it, and I was already interested because of what the work was. So I thought, yeah, why not? Let's do this. Let's see what happens. And then now I've just been doing it ever since, and I've enjoyed and loved what I do.
Man, awesome, awesome stuff, man. Um, but we kind of talked about this a little bit. But I hear you're a big sports guy too, man.
Oh yeah, I love me some football and basketball.
What happened to be your team, man, that you
So
support?
for football, I'm the same as my brother. I'm a Denver Broncos fan, even though I live in New York. The funniest thing ever that everyone will question. And then for
You
bas
wanna? Oh, I was gonna ask you if you wanted to talk about how that came to be, because I know Byron told his story, but maybe like something a little bit different happened with who told you to love the Broncos, or your surroundings can also change. Like, even brothers and like family can have a lot of different experiences, especially when there's a bit of an age gap, right?
No, of course. Again, the thing is though, for me, it's my brother had a cool story about this. For me, it's kind of just simple. I started playing football when I was younger, like roughly around 11, 12, and I started getting interested in the sport. And I saw my brother's favorite team was the Broncos. I was like, yeah, why not? I was like, I'll be a Broncos fan too, because younger brother, you kind of want to be like the older brother in a way, and then try and be better than him and everything. But
Yeah,
just that
yeah.
competitive edge with it.
Hey man, some people would say that's even a more interesting story, right? I'm sure you're probably a bigger Broncos fan than him, right? You've been a Broncos fan longer for your life. You always have that against him, right?
Yeah, for sure. Nah, it's listen. He knows sports history better than anyone. Like I'll jokingly tell him, "Oh, who won the Super Bowl in 1975?" They'll say the teams and the score. I'm like, "How do you know this?"
Yeah, man. It's always good to have like something that you just love, man. And if it's football slash like sports for him and Pokemon, that's awesome, man. I'm
Mhm.
sure you're the same way too, right? Like you have your hobbies that you just love, man,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's
for
always good to
sure.
have.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's nice to have like some hobbies, but then it's like always try and explore more and learn new things.
Yeah, I gonna make this about myself a little bit, but with art and stuff, I liked it, right? Of course, when you're younger, you're like, this is so fun to draw, but I gonna try to my hand to be better at this and have more fun. And now look at me, man. I've been writing some stuff for almost like half a year now, and been doing art for like 3 years on and off, and it's cool to have that sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. I've seen your art and I enjoy it a lot. Like I love your style with it too. I enjoy when people like take their time for their craft and everything, and I always enjoy to see it. I can tell you do with your stuff because it's very well thought out and everything.
Yeah, you like that, Mr. Krabs, right?
Oh yeah, that's just the classic little meme kind of thing, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm sorry for cutting you off earlier, but what's your basketball team, man?
I know you're good, dude. I'm a Lakers fan because of Kobe Bryant, and he kind of just watching him play was just amazing. Like he's easily the most entertaining basketball player of all time. I won't say he's the best, but I will say he's definitely the most entertaining player ever to watch because I still go back to this day, just watch highlights of him playing and just what he was able to do on that court, man. It was electrifying.
Yeah, man, just gone too soon, man. As well.
Yeah, I know. He did a lot of great things off the court too. Like it's unfortunate, dude.
Yeah, I always say, so this is I guess like my basketball rankings, right? MJ might be the best to ever do it, but Kobe was the most influential, and then LeBron is the greatest player to pick up basketball in my eyes. So
Oh yeah,
especially because of off the court stuff too with LeBron. He's like a family man, a good role model, helped build schools. That's why I like if you ask me who's the GOAT, then I would say LeBron. But Jordan, of course, easily has even more of an edge to some. But
yeah,
and
of
then
course.
when you say influential, I mean, come on, it's obviously going to be the guy that people are still yelling Kobe when they try to throw something in the trash can.
No, exactly. It's like, come on, you're not saying anyone else's name except his every time you're going, just throwing paper in the trash. You always say Kobe.
Yeah, I'm sure that like people in like the '80s weren't like skyhooking uh, garbage and saying Kareem. Like, come on, that
Yeah,
sounds
nah.
like maybe some people in the '90s were saying, "Oh, like MJ or Jordan," but come on, like everybody knew Kobe. Kobe was just like that iconic of to the game, kind of like how LeBron is sort of now, right? Like he's like universal almost. Like if you ask somebody, like, "Oh, name me a basketball player," they're like LeBron, maybe Curry, and that's it. Like even like casual fans would tell you that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like everyone knows who LeBron James is because he's been playing basketball forever, like since the Stone Ages. I've seen so many jokes like LeBron hit the same move back when the basketball hoops were just peach baskets.
Yeah, or like there's like so many memes that like of him being like the forefront because he's a pretty funny dude, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. No,
Even though most of the things that he's funny at, he's not trying. Like him, like not understanding how to speak lyrics or like sing them along or reading
yeah.
like one page of a book all the time. Like the first page, I mean.
Oh yeah,
It's,
no, for sure.
I think though, like Kobe also was probably like could have had that effect, but like it was like Facebook memes at the time, and
Mm.
like the only thing I really remember was like people that still make fun of like I guess like his mental strength. Like he'll be like they'll always joke like, oh, like I don't know, like I bet Kobe if he wanted to could like I don't know breathe underwater for 40 minutes. That's just like Mamba mentality right there and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like there were so many great memes about it. Some of my favorite things were the old Kobe commercials back in the day of him just like trolling or doing different things. Like the whole Darude sandstorm joke with Kobe and LeBron, that was just so funny to me.
Yeah, it's just and it's crazy because like some memes or like some jokes about him being like having like mama mentality are like even like less extreme than some stuff that he did. Like I don't know if you know this, but he literally trained with like a Marine, and like so, and he was like out doing that Marine. He was like, it's just crazy, man. Because I remember there's a story that like a basketball player, I don't remember who, like trained with Kobe. And it's like, oh yeah, so here's my Marine friend that trains me, and like they were just doing like a 5 mile run, like or probably even longer. And then he's like, oh yeah, let's run to the blue house like full speed, and like so they thought it was like a mile run, but it was like a 20-mile run, and they started throwing up. And like, man, that sounds just like so Kobe, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. Now, one of my favorite Kobe stories, though, it's I forgot which player it was, but Kobe was playing them that day, I believe, and he was already in the gym. This dude came in like 6 o'clock, and he was going in just to warm up a little, get some shots up. He would go do his full like hour-long workout and then be done. But then Kobe was still there working. Even before he was there, he was still there after he was done. He went, that guy finished, left. Kobe was still there a little bit more after and waited for him to finish. When
Yeah,
that player asked Kobe, like, oh, why were you in there for so long? It was like, because you were here. I had to make sure I showed that I worked harder than you.
yeah. And I remember, I think there was a rookie that was like, oh yeah, I wanted to be there early, but then but Kobe somehow beat me there. Probably knew my plan or something, and he tried to get there at 5 a.m. and Kobe was already there by like 4 a.m., like 3 a.m., just there living in the gym like always.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, another great moment with Kobe was like his teammates want to go out and party, and Kobe was like, "Yeah, sure. You want? All right, I'll come too. Let's go party, right?" But then he said that next morning at 5 a.m. I was knocking on their door. I hung out with you. Now you got to hang out with me.
Yeah, I mean, he was such a great character, man. Like some would call him crazy, some would call him devoted, but he was just Kobe at the end of the day, man.
Yeah, for sure. He was just a dude who really loved the game of basketball, and he did everything he could to be the best that he could be.
And, some would say that he is, especially that have so many fond memories of him. But some might see him as like as a Michael Jordan minus or whatever. But to me and many others, they'll just see him as a great basketball player, and that's Kobe.
Yeah, for sure. I just see him as one of the greats.
Sometimes I could be like kind of like judgmental of like, Kobe's not top 10, but he was still one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah,
No
for
matter
sure.
where you rank him, of course.
Yeah, of course. Everyone has their rankings for like a top 10 best player for any sport, even. And it's like, yeah, that's your opinion, right? I respect it, right? I may not agree with it, but I'll still respect it.
I mean, it's good to have different opinions, even though some of them are wrong, right?
Yeah, of course. It's like when I saw one list, it's like, oh yeah, Larry Bird was the best player ever. I'm like, that's just wrong.
That just sounds, kind of racist, man.
Yeah, for sure. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, man. Man, if somebody's arguing for Larry Bird in like the day of our age in 2023, like get that man, like a LeBron highlight clip, man, and a Jordan highlight clip, and
For
or even
sure.
a Kareem one, man. Kareem has
Yeah, I
the
know.
cheeks.
Yeah, show him the black and white Kareem film and show him how great he was as a player.
To show Bill Russell highlights of him just stopping everybody because he was just like a foot taller than everyone else and knew
Yeah,
how to
for
move.
sure.
It's
Show
just
the
crazy.
man. Yep,
It's
sorry.
crazy to me that he was a third overall pick and like like a short white dude went in front of him or something. Man, it's like, man, what were they doing, man? Like,
Yeah, I know. There's a reason that dude has more rings than fingers.
yeah, man. Yeah, but legit one of the greatest too, man. Sad that he had to go away too.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's just how it is with time and everything. He was getting
Yeah,
old and
yeah.
just
Basketball has had pretty good luck with having most of its legends still be around, but no one can beat Father Time. Not even the GOAT LeBron, as we saw.
yeah, for sure.
He had like 25 points in the first and had like 5 points in the second half when he got swept.
Yeah, man,
Like half things.
he can't do what he used to do on the Heat, where he would just play a full game and just dominate the entire time on both sides. It's eventually father time will follow you.
Yeah, of course, man. But we're talking so much about basketball and favorite players. Who's your favorite football player that you maybe got to see or just favorite of all time?
Oh, for me, I think this is a very simple answer. It's Von Miller because just watching him off the ball and how smart he was to know exactly like snap counts and time them and how fast he would get to the quarterback, it was just amazing to see that. Like this dude is such a beast. He still plays now. Obviously, he's starting to show his age, but watching him in his prime, it was just like a cheat code. Like he was moving off the snap faster than the tackles were. And it's like, how do you stop that?
Yeah, man, and of course, his Super Bowl performance against the Panthers, just like probably like one of the best defensive master classes we'll probably ever see from a player in the biggest stage ever. He
Oh
was
yeah,
probably
for
really mad
sure.
about that Seahawks loss, man. It was probably eating away at him for like the whole time, man. Like, just an awesome player, still really great. He's only great because he's from Dallas, man.
Of
Nah,
course.
you
Hey,
know,
it's still hilarious to me though that say the NFL didn't work for him. He actually went to college to be a chicken farmer of all things, and he has a whole chicken coop at his home. It's so interesting.
yeah, man. And he just seems like such a great guy, man. Like I don't know, just like somebody that you could probably like go out with, like I don't know, get a beer or something with. Just seems
Oh
like
yeah,
super
for sure.
chill, fashionable dude.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like he had some questionable fashion choices, I would say, with his hair. Like when he was rocking like a patch on the back of his head, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that one, but
Just just amazing stuff, man. Because I know everybody's like, oh yeah, I only care about like best players and like from how they play in the field. I don't care about like none of that off the field stuff. But I think like off the field stuff is very important too, man. Especially for my personal rankings.
Mhm.
Like that's a big part too. Like you don't want to like somebody that was like I don't know mean spirited and just like kind of a hater in general, man. Like I want somebody to root for that's like nice and gives back to the community a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you want someone who's like an actual human being, not just like yeah, this nice guy in the field, and then when you see them in person, they're not pleasant at all. They're like a completely different person. It's not enjoyable because you see these people as like an idol or like someone you look up to. You don't want them to be a jerk in real life.
Yeah, I mean, like some sports kind of have the reputation of that, right? Like I feel like a lot of people kind of imagine like football players as like being like quote unquote like dumb brutes or whatever, but like I feel like a lot of them are like really nice. Even some people have said that some of them are way too nice. Like Marshawn Lynch, one
Hmm.
of the best runners of our generation. Like everybody's like, man, I thought he was gonna be meaner. Like he was super nice. Like what? I want my money back or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
because you
like
just you see his runs. You're like, oh man, he's just like a beast, right? That's like quite literally his name,
mhm.
like his nickname, and he's like the nicest dude ever. Like he's just like super chill. Like it's
Yeah,
funny though.
it's just that like switch that flicks for these dudes. It's like on that field, they're just these monsters that go crazy, screaming and yelling. But then you see these guys like just normal everyday life. They're just regular people, really.
Yeah, like and even like Kobe, kind of a little bit was like that too. Especially after he became like a full time dad. Like I'm sure like you talk about basketball to him and be like, oh yeah, I'm super serious about this, but like he'll come home to his girls and just be like, hey yeah, he's just like a cool dad.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it would be an awesome experience. Imagine having Kobe Bryant as your father.
Yeah, and what I always loved about Kobe and respected him about it was like the whole media, of course, when you're a big star, they want to put narratives out there that aren't true. And he always was like, even though I have all girls, I'm sure they're gonna keep on my legacy, even if it's not in basketball. I mean, like his oldest daughter is a volleyball player
Hmm.
and stuff
Yeah,
like that, and he was always super proud of them.
yeah, of course. Because the thing is, just because he has all daughters doesn't mean they can't still represent him in what they do. Because having the Kobe Bryant Mamba mentality isn't just about basketball. It's like how you are as a person, and I'm hoping that they can help carry that also for him.
Yeah, and especially the youngins, right? Oh man.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
for sure, dude.
yeah, just like such a sad thing to think about. But, they never got to experience a lot of the best things about having probably a great dad, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's tough on them, but it's sometimes life just happens, and you gotta try and
Yeah,
persevere through.
yeah, but I'm sure they have a great uncle Paul Gasol, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because Kobe Bryant and him
Yeah,
were just close and everything.
yeah, they have a lot of great uncles out there. I'm sure that will probably protect them and keep them in the loop of stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially Uncle Shaq. He cares about everything.
Yeah, especially because I'm glad that they were able to squash their beef that they had when they were younger too.
Yeah, of
Because I
course.
know you've probably seen it, right? But
Yeah,
the interview where they sit down and just talk about how dumb they were when they were younger,
yeah, for
how like their
sure.
egos kind of interfere with potentially like even a bigger dynasty than they could have been.
Oh yeah, they said like they could have been like even better than what they were. It was just how they were at the time, just kind of clashing heads, and it's what happens when you're both two hot-headed young players trying to be the big man on campus.
Yeah, be the big fish, right? Because I don't know, because I don't know if Shaq told the story or like one of the other teammates said, but like a lot of the Lakers say that, or like even some of the Pistons say that the reason why the Pistons won that series was because Kobe won the Finals MVP. So, and like a lot of times he shot him, he shot them out of games.
Yeah, for sure. But the thing is, Kobe would just always take that shot. That's just how he was.
Yeah, there could be like five guys on him, like four different teammates wide open. He would still shoot that. Like especially like in the mid range, like he would just like, take that, man.
Oh
It
yeah,
wouldn't
that
matter
was
how
just his
many
shot. Just that mid range, he would always go for it.
that turnaround jumper, man. Just I mean, it would go in a lot of the time, but of course, when you shoot it that many times, it's gonna go out a lot of times as well.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, the thing is though, they say you miss every shot you don't take, and Kobe took that personally.
He wanted to miss all the shots. No, I'm just joking. He made a lot of them too. Made a lot of them too.
Yeah, we don't have to go into the statistics. He made the shots that counted in the big moments.
Hey, he still won two more championships without Shaq, so
Exactly. He
I'm
said,
sure he was still very happy with that
yeah, no,
on the
he
big
said that
fella.
he had to get one more than Shaq though. When Shaq won in Miami, he knew he had to win at least two more.
He was like, "You got your time right now. I'll get mine in like 3 years."
Yep.
But is there any basketball or football players that you love that weren't part of your team? 'Cause I feel like we all have that player, right? Like that we just like absolutely love. Like even
Oh
though they're
yeah.
like a rival team or like non home team, if that makes sense. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, of
Uh,
course. Now,
or hometown player.
one player I actually enjoyed just watching a lot too was JJ Watt. Just because watching this dude off the ball, how quick he was with that swim move, and especially watching him play once against the Broncos. He got 2 sacks back to back against Ryan Clady, who was having an amazing season. That was our left tackle at the time. Just seeing him just dominate this dude, I'm like, Jesus Christ, can anyone block this guy? What's going on?
Yeah, and like the funny thing with JJ would be like he would do things that were technically not textbook, but because he was like JJ Watt and he was so good, he's like, yeah, that would not matter. Like, he could be like doing like a release wrong or something, or like a technique wrong, but he would still get to the quarterback, man, because he was just a beast.
Yeah, of course. Like when you're that athletic, when you're that strong with it, it's like sometimes your technique isn't perfect, but because of how fast you did a certain thing, it doesn't matter because that dude has to adjust to you.
Yeah. Is there any like current day NFL player that you just love seeing? Of course, as a Cowboys fan, I'm gonna say, Micah probably exudes that energy a little bit as a pass rusher, but
Uh,
anybody else that you like currently? 'Cause, JJ Watt retired recently. Recently,
yeah, no, I know he recently retired, which personally I think he should have after he had that whole heart problem on the field. I
yeah.
think that's the
I,
right move for him.
I'm surprised that he even played more after that. I was like, man, you're crazy. But
Yeah, dude,
sometimes, you love the game too much, so you can't just say goodbye to it.
yeah, for sure. It's like when you have that love for the game, I get it, but it's like, is your life really worth it?
Yeah, it's better to enjoy your family and your wife and stuff at that point.
Exactly. Now, recently though, like currently in the NFL, I've just loved Cooper Cup just because I saw this dude play like early on. I'm like, this guy has really good potential, and it's just like he kept getting better and better every season. And I'm happy he finally popped off, had a wide receiver triple crown, and just he went off that season when they won the Super Bowl. It was just
Man,
the perfect
yeah.
season for a receiver.
But a lot of people don't know, probably because they didn't watch the Rams game much with Jared Goff, right? They
Mhm.
just knew that they were a good offense for some years, but he had 1,000-yard seasons with Jared Goff, man, and Jared Goff's okay. It's like mid tier, but that's impressive. A lot of these running wide receivers, like they have to have a great quarterback to be good.
Yeah, for sure. Like this dude with Jared Goff had a couple 1,000-yard seasons, or he was close to it, and it was like his second year he had 1,300 yards, and with Jared Goff throwing him the ball, who's a good quarterback, but he's nothing special. So it's like there's the potential. Just he needs help getting to that next level.
Yeah, and then you add a top 10 quarterback, especially during the Super Bowl year, and Matthew Stafford, and it was quite obvious that this I was gonna say kid, but Cooper Cup's in the older side, right? Like he's like 30, I want to say. No, I think he was like 28 when they won the Super Bowl, right in his prime. But yeah, this guy's just crazy. Like his release and just like route running is amazing, man.
Yeah, for sure. Just you watch him go on his routes. It's like he's making 3 moves on every break, and it's just crazy the separation he'll get on his routes.
Yeah, I mean it's special, man. It's special. So I think Justin Jefferson is kind of like that nowadays, though. Man's
Oh
just a
yeah,
beast, man.
yeah. I know Justin Jefferson. Like you watch him run routes or just on the field. It's just he's smooth like butter on everything he does. That dude's an animal, and I think he's just gonna keep doing this for years to come.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the same thing as Kirk Cousins, right? Like he's almost like basically a slightly better Jared Goff.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, recently I've been a little biased towards Jared Goff just because I've enjoyed the Lions recently because they've been this underdog team that's just been building themselves up. So we'll see. Maybe next season the Lions make the playoffs and make some noise.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, man. Because Jared Goff has limitations, of course, but when the team is good, he's good, and I think that's what the Lions have right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Lions can have improved a lot. Like that, they love their head coach, who has I think done a good job with his players, kind of building morale with them, like getting them hyped up, and just doing crazy things, like sending your tackle out for a pass route on a crucial third down play just to get a first and kind of ice a game. I think that's just crazy to do, but having trust in your players to do it is just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's so many cool stuff, storylines for the NFL season in particular, and even the NBA season too, man. Like I feel like the NBA off season right now is going crazy, man.
Oh my god, yeah, for real. Like all these different trades, like the Suns now are just I'm confused on how these teams keep coming about. Like the Suns trade just made no sense to me.
It's mostly because of the no trade clause. I mean, when you're a player going to a contending team, you kind of don't want them to give up much. So, and especially with the no trade clause, you can kind of just reject any offer that's way too much. So it
Oh
makes
yeah, for
sense.
sure. There's just Bradley Beal now in the Suns just seems so crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's probably one of the worst cap situations of all time, man. You have four max level dudes in one spot.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're definitely like a win this next season kind of thing, and then after pay them somehow.
Yeah, man. Just man, that's I do not want to be in charge of that, man.
Yeah, for
Trying
sure.
to
I feel
figure out a
bad for
way
the
to
infrastructure.
do the cap. Especially because it's kind of it's gonna get tougher now.
Oh
So
yeah,
there's
for
a
sure.
new collective bargaining agreement, and it basically kind of limits teams. Like if you're over the cap by like I think 15 mil, you basically can't do anything.
Yeah, for
Like you can
sure.
only sign minimums, guys on minimums, and a lot of players want a ring chase, but a minimum is not it, man.
Yeah, man. It's you're used to making all these millions. That minimum's not going to do it for you.
Yeah, man, it's just and like everybody's gonna be a lot more like stingy, I guess, with their contracts. Like yeah, you're a good player, but I do not want to, give you like $1,000 or whatever. I mean, a million, like like $5 million more
Yeah.
dollars, because it's gonna ruin us.
No, I know what you mean. It's again the problem is these dudes are all like, yeah, I want to get paid. I had a good season. Give me my money. It's like,
Hey, man. I mean, if I had the chance to get like $5 more million, man, I'll do it too.
oh,
That's like
100%.
life changing money. So I'm never too mad at players that try to get more money than win, because everybody's goals is different.
Yeah, for sure. For me, I'm pretty sure for you as well. Like getting $5 million right now would just be life changing.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's just and like so you can't really judge players like that in that position. It's like, yeah, go get your bag until they're in your team. Of course, you're like, come on, take a pay cut or something and stay
Yeah, I
here.
know. It's like, no, please stay. We need you.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how the Nuggets fans are gonna be towards to everybody. Like Bruce Brown, probably, because he's a free agent. Like, how come on, stay with us? We won a championship, right?
Exactly.
take a championship discount.
Exactly. Like, just stay. Trust me, we'll win another with you.
You get more merch, you get more money like that. Because you're a champion. Come on.
Exactly.
Is there any basketball player though right now that you really love, man?
Oh man, right now I just love watching Giannis play because watching this dude just go up and down the court and just his size and strength and lengthy as even it's it's game changing. Like even on both sides of the ball, like offensively, it's like impossible to guard this dude. Like how do you guard someone who's this long and strong and he takes 2 steps from the 3-point line and he's already dunking. It's like what's going on?
So you wouldn't say that he's a run and dunk man, like a certain bearded individual said a while back. I mean, a few years ago. At this point,
Oh, no chance. James Harden was completely wrong about that. I'll say his name. I've never been a fan of James Harden, honestly, because his game just revolves around only free throws, it feels like.
yeah, this is why you support the better James Harden, in my opinion, Luca, the more ethical James Harden.
Oh, yeah, for sure. At least Luca actually scores points outside of free throws.
Yeah, man. Though he gets two step back happy sometimes, and it can be annoying because he misses a lot of those. But when he makes them, he looks like the best player in the world.
Oh, yeah,
Top
for
four at
sure.
worst, though.
Yeah, no, I definitely say Luca's one of the best players right now. It's unfortunate the way their season ended. It was just some struggles, but once Luca gets some help, I think that team will definitely make some noise.
We made some good offseason moves, man. The
Oh,
Lakers
yeah,
did
for
too
sure.
on a deal. I like some of their draft picks.
Oh yeah, for sure. The draft, the Spurs are going to be interesting with the greatest prospect ever, apparently.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Big plays out, man. No matter how his career goes, it's gonna be amazing to watch, man.
Oh
Like, can
yeah,
you
for sure.
imagine he's like the best player of all time? Like right away, like, man, he really was the best prospect of all time. Or like if he's okay, then people are like, we overhyped mid. No matter what, it's gonna be
Yeah, for
entertaining to
sure.
see.
People are always going to overreact one way or the other, depending on
Yeah.
however it goes or however they feel.
I don't know if you watched his like first practice as a Spur, but he missed like 8 jump shots in a row, and people were like, "Oh my god, he's gonna be a bust!" I can't believe my first took him. Hey man, he hasn't even played a game yet. It's just funny.
Yeah, for sure. It's like sometimes you're just off on your shots. It happens to all of us.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a funny time, man.
Yeah, for sure. NBA next season, NFL next season. I think there's going to be some fun games, some exciting storylines coming out about everything.
Yeah, I mean, even though like he got kind of overdrafted at the position, like because he's a running back, but I want to see Jameer Gibbs just like go to town, man. Especially with that offensive line, man. Because the Lions have one of the best offensive lines in the game, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Same goes with Bijan, man.
Yeah,
Like
it just
the Falcons have the best running, like one of the best running offensive lines. So just imagine like him being a beast and just getting like 2,000 yards, running it down your throat, man. It's gonna be
oh
crazy
man.
stuff.
Imagine he runs for 2,000 in his rookie year. Like the hype is going to be insane with him.
he has the talent, man, and he has the coach, and he has everything to work out there.
Yeah, he's in a perfect system where they really want to run the ball. Like his head coach loves running the ball, especially because he had Derrick Henry at one point. So it's like,
It's kind of natural, man.
yeah, for sure. You have this 6'3" dude who's very fast, ran like a 440 or something like that. It's you want to give this dude the ball.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about that. Like, some people had hopes of him going to like all the way to 20s, the 20s or something, man. But he got drafted top 8.
Yeah, he did,
That's,
which good for him, dude.
yeah, that money, man. I bet for running backs, man, the higher you get drafted, the better, because man, those second contracts are quite dreadful, man.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
your body's all used up at that point, sadly.
Yeah, that's the only thing with running backs, especially now in the NFL. It's like you get your first contract, you play your first 6 years, then it's an instant decline for that new fresh back who's new to the league and hasn't been worn out yet.
Yeah, it's sad for them, man. Especially because you work so hard. I always say if you're a talented running back, just transform, just go over to wide receiver, man. And like in your second year, you'll make more money, you get less hits, and you have less miles on your body, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just happy Christian McCaffrey had a comeback year this year. He was able to stay healthy, and that dude's just electrifying because he's like a
Yeah,
receiver and running back all in one.
yeah, he's basically a because this might be controversial. This might be because I'm a 49ers hater, but Debo's just a running back that can catch some ball sometimes, and that's it, man. I mean, he's still electric. Don't get me wrong, but he's more of a crybaby more than anything. But
Oh yeah, especially the whole offseason
I do
thing.
not like Debo, man, as you can see.
Yeah, I could tell. You're a
uh,
Cowboys
I
fan,
mean,
so
it's only
there's that beef
natural,
there.
right? I mean, the team that beat us twice in the playoffs, it's a sad time.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate. It's just yeah, your offensive coordinator had some questionable calls though. So
Yeah, I'm glad that he's gone. I'm interested to see what Mike McCaffrey's gonna. Oh my god, man, we're out here talking about Christian McCaffrey and Mike McCarthy, man. There we go. I know football, man. I'm just
you're good, dude. Sometimes we all have those brain farts. Sometimes we're like, wait, what was his name again?
yeah, man. It's a crazy time, man. It's a crazy time. But yeah, Mike McCarthy. I'm sure he's gonna use running backs properly, not use a washed up running back like all this time, man. And we're gonna see improvement from hopefully everywhere, especially with Brandon Cooks in the squad, and
Yeah,
even
for
the
sure.
defense too. A lot of people forget that Gilmore can still play, man. He's older, and not as good as the Patriots days, right? Where he won DPOY, but he's still a dog, man.
Yeah, for sure. You guys have a good team, like a lot of young players. The biggest thing I would say for the Cowboys coming up now is just if Dak can perform at that top tier level consistently.
Yeah, I just need if that can I think his turnovers were more a fault of the wide receivers and the lack of help he had, but hopefully he can stay focused and be better in the playoffs. I mean, he was really great against the Bucks, man. Like people forget the Bucks were a top 10 defense, but
Yeah, yeah,
only because he scored like 30 on them. People forget that, but
yeah, no,
the
for sure.
49ers were just better, man.
Yeah, the
Especially because
49ers had a great team, and it was hard to beat them.
and they had no injuries at that time too, basically. So
Yeah, Eagles got lucky that their
yeah,
quarterback and their backup quarterback at the time got hurt.
yeah. I'm surprised that their third quarterback didn't get injured, Chris McCaffrey, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
no, no, they had Brock Purdy out there, not just being there just to hand up the ball, man. That was crazy stuff.
Yeah, I know. It was just unfortunate luck for them.
Though I think the Eagles probably win still, but it would have been a lot closer. And
Oh yeah, for
and with
sure.
them exuding more energy against the 49ers, they probably lose worse to the Chiefs. So I mean, a week's rest, an extra week's rest is always good, though. But Andy Reid over Nick Sirianni, come on now, that's like choosing a bear against like I don't know a pig or something. Like, of
Yeah, for
course,
sure. Like
I'm
no
gonna
one
choose the
can.
bigger and better and best
Oh
thing
yeah,
ever.
always. Andy Reid's just mind for offense is just insane, and Patrick Mahomes lets him do these things that it's crazy what they can do.
Hey, all I'm saying is that the only time that Jalen Hurts won something was when he got subbed out. You do with that information with what you will, man.
Yep, I think we just leave it at that and let the world wonder.
Hey, Gardner Minshew probably wouldn't have fumbled. That's all I'm saying.
Oh
Nah.
man.
Nah, you always gotta make fun of the rivals, man. Even though the Chiefs are probably the best team in football, I'm sure you put your shots in there.
Oh, 100%. It's hard to rip the Chiefs when they're just such nice guys. Like Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, they're like good dudes. And like you
Yeah,
enjoy watching them play, but it's like, I don't want to see this against my team.
yeah. Even I mean Travis Kelsey, he's really nice. But when you talk bad about Patrick or about the Chiefs, that's when he gets real mean. Well, not mean, but like really truthful and stuff. You know, like very like somber. I guess I don't know. But I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw the quote that he said to Jamar Chase, where he said, so Jamar said that Joey Burrow was the best quarterback in the league. It's like, and then Travis just said, "Hey, young fella, Joey Burrow's not showing me anything that tells me that he could be the best quarterback in the league. Like, where's his rings at then?" And it's just so funny to see.
Mahomes already has two. Burrow's got to get his own now.
Hey, he had a chance, man, but he kept on disappearing in the last drive, man. He had 7 drives where he could have scored some points to help his team out, and nothing, man.
Yeah,
So some
man.
of it is Aaron Donald and the whole defense just being awesome, right? But
It's hard,
still, he still
honestly.
couldn't get it done.
When you got that dude Aaron Donald in your face, and it's just scary because that dude's strength is unbelievable.
Yeah, and then you also have the fact that like you won as many playoff games as your team's whole history in that playoff run. It's kind of course, you're not gonna have much experience, right? But still,
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford basically had like the same amount of experience to that point as Joey Burrow, and he still came out kind of clutch sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. But that's what you need from your quarterback. You need them to bring that clutch factor, that X factor to these games.
Yeah. Okay. This might be like the last few questions, man. Is there any? What are your 2 teams from each league that you're really excited to see? Maybe it could be like rookies, aside from the Lions, because I know you kind of talked about that earlier.
Mm-hmm. So I would say for football in the NFC side, obviously I know the Lions. I think they're going to do great things, but it's hard to say honestly because there's a bunch of good teams. I'm going to go with the hometown team and the Giants, just to upset you, because I'm going to say Daniel Jones next year is going to be a top 10 quarterback on his performance. He's going to show why he deserves to get paid that money. I'm saying it now.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be it's gonna be fun to watch no matter what, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially because they got more talent, man. More talent's always good with the rookies and some signings here.
Yeah, for sure.
They're better. They're better.
Yep, they
But probably
definitely got
not top
better.
2 better than top 2 in the divisional rankings, but
Nah, they're gonna win the
still better.
division next year. Watch the Giants win that division.
Hey, as long as the Eagles don't make the playoffs, I'm all good, man. And of course, the Cowboys make it too
Yep,
and win
Giants
it.
and Cowboys make it.
How about the AFC side, man? Any young teams that you want to see?
Honestly, AFC side, I'm gonna go with the Jaguars for this one because I think Trevor Lawrence is gonna step up even more than he did this year, and just keep showing why he's gonna be an elite level quarterback for some time.
I thought you were gonna mention the best quarterback in that same draft, Zach Wilson in the Winnipeg Bombers. I'm just nah. He'll be lucky if he makes it to the CFL at this point. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
No,
I
but I mean
know.
that's a pretty interesting too.
Yep,
Aaron Rodgers, he's old man, but he could probably still swing the rock a little bit.
yeah, for sure. The Jets are going to be an interesting team. I'm just not sold on Rodgers, honestly, at this point. I feel like his age has just shown too much.
Yeah, I mean just Yeah, I mean he's like 40 years, like 42, 41 years old.
Yeah, man, he's been in the league for a minute now, and I think his time is just coming up.
He's 39, but he looks older because he's kind of problematic sometimes.
Yeah, man, that's my issue with him. He's been very problematic, and like the past couple of years, like, yeah, I'm retiring, oh, I'm staying, and that's like, dude, stop doing this.
Yeah, I mean, and I think he's a bad leader mostly. Personally, like taking no responsibility for anything.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of why, like, I always enjoyed Peyton Manning, because even in losses where he kind of played perfect, he would still say that he has to play better. And it's like being a
Hey,
leader shows.
don't tell that's Jeff Saturday though.
Oh no, Jeff Saturdays will be upset that they're still not running the ball.
Man, that just. But I think that just goes to show how much like respect and I feel like you only scream at people that you kind of respect. If that makes sense when you're, especially I think Peyton Manning, especially man.
Oh yeah,
I
for
think that's how
sure.
he worked. Like I'm screaming at you because I want you to be better. I'm sure that Jeff felt this exact same way.
Yeah, they just had a relationship. Like they cared about the game so much. They both want to win together, and
Like the best thing is like I think they're like a grumpy old married couple describes them best because they love each other but they hate each other too, man.
oh
At
yeah,
some
for
point,
sure. They're that old married couple that's just yelling at each other. Don't forget to take your medicine. Stop yelling at me.
yeah, like I want you to be better. Like I don't want to be better. Like I'm okay. Like we want to win. It's like do we? It's just crazy to think that Jeff Saturday played like 2 seasons with the Packers at the end. Though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I feel like that's most NFL players, man. Like people probably won't remember JJ was a Cardinal for instance. So he had some moments, but he's always gonna be a Texan legend, man.
Yeah, for sure. He'll always be known with the Texans mostly.
Man, imagine if like 10 years from now, it's like, oh yeah, JJ Watt, one of my favorite Cardinal players. Like, man, that was a fever dream.
Yeah,
That was
for
not
real.
real.
That's not the real JJ Watt. You should see him on the Texans.
Yeah, man. Uh, and any NBA team you're interested in seeing, specifically maybe rookies or potential free agent signings they can do?
Honestly,
You,
not yet. Honestly, because I haven't been keeping track too much. I would say so. I would put a pin in that for now, and I think it's just going to be an interesting season coming up, though, because so many teams are going to bring their all, and I think there's going to be a very tough like season coming up for the NBA. Like a lot of crazy games, I feel are going to happen.
okay, because you probably haven't been keeping up much, just busy guy, and so I'll give you two teams to look out for that got especially better in the draft, I think. Or
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a few actually. So the two teams I would say to look out for are the Pacers
Mm-hmm.
in the East mostly. Just because Tyrese Halliburton, amazing player. They got somebody named Jarris Walker. He's just an amazing defender, man. Like he has like generational defensive prowess, basically, man.
Yeah,
And him
that's.
him and Miles Turner can probably be a force if they decide to keep him around.
Mm-hmm.
And and then another East team that's very interesting, mostly because they might be imploding or selling, or they might just be the worst team in the league. Is the Wizards?
Oh
Uh,
man.
they're just trading away everybody that has any ounce of value for like anything. Like there's like a fire sale going on,
Oh yeah, for
and you
sure.
probably get anything from them. But they're interesting because they're finally rebuilding after like 40 years of mediocrity. So it's just good to see. I think
Yeah, at least they're finally rebuilding.
it's like what's a team like that in the NFL? Maybe the Steelers a little bit because I mean Kenny Pickett. I mean he's okay, but
He's
mostly that's
okay.
because of Mike Tomlin just being an amazing coach more than anything.
Yeah, man, it's insane. He's never had a losing season. Like that's just insane to
Yeah, I
have.
mean he was like 2-5 this season, and he still somehow made it out with the positive record, man. Like who does that, man?
Yeah, man, it's hey, Mike Tomlin found a way. He has some kind of formula. He has some like cheat code or something.
Okay, and then for the West teams, this might be biased, of course. You might, if you know what team I like for the NBA, you're gonna be like, oh, that's so obvious. But I'm gonna say the Mavericks, my hometown Mavericks. They added some young talent. They got two young guys that are really like they inspire, or I don't know what's the term. They uh they're thought to be like really good risers.
Mhm.
Like have a
Yeah,
lot of potential, specifically in defense. I don't know if you saw some Mavericks game, but that's lacking, right? When your two best players are Luca and Kyrie.
yeah, man. You got
Almost no
two.
defense is played.
Yeah, you got two guys who are amazing on offense, but just don't ask them to guard anyone.
And it's kind of crazy because Kyrie's the better defender of the two, man. Like the guy that's like 6'7" and 250 can't guard like a stick sometimes, but us like a 6'2", 3 guy can like defend a power forward sometimes. It's just nuts. But we don't
Yeah,
talk about that.
yeah, we don't talk about it. It's all right. The Mavs are going to be good.
And then like they have another few guys like I don't know if you probably don't know them, but Jaden Hardy, like he's gonna be a stud, man.
Yeah,
He's just a walking bucket. And Josh Green, he's younger too. He's 1 year younger than Luca, but he has a really good defense. He's a good hustle player. Fun to watch on defense.
yeah, man.
He's
That's what you
actually one of
need.
the players that runs the most. I think he runs like 5 miles per game when he has like over like 25 minutes.
Really, damn.
That's
That's a
crazy.
crazy stat to have right there.
Just a big hustle guy, and he's fun.
Yeah, that's you need those hustle guys though. They bring the energy and excitement for your team.
And then you kind of mentioned it, but of course Spurs are gonna be fun. Just to see Vic, right, like the best prospect of all time.
Yeah. See
But
this.
aside from them, another two young teams I would keep an eye out are the Thunder. They got
Mhm.
one of the better rookie guards, I think, like one of the most NBA ready rookie guards, just to pair along with two other great guards in there. Uh,
Yeah,
Now rookie Chet Holmgren is going to be amazing too. I'm sure he's going to bounce back from injury and just be awesome how we all thought he will. And then you just add the progression of guys like Shea, Josh Giddey, Lou Dort, and like everybody in that team is just going to be probably step up to the next level. That are like Shea was arguably a top 5 player. He's definitely going to be a top 5 player next season. Like that type of like shine is in that team.
oh yeah, for
And then
sure.
another team that could be kind of that might make the playoffs. To be honest with you, and might make the play in. It's the Rockets. They
Really.
got they got two of the better prospects. One of them fell down because of like character issues and health issues and just like bad combine stats. So it was a perfect storm for him to fall. So he was projected like top 4, top 5 pick. He fell all the way down to 20 to the Rockets. And then the Rockets got the fourth or third best player to some. And so you have two young guys that have like unlimited potential. A really good coach that they hired this offseason. Murmurings about James Harden or other big time free agent potentially coming. And then you add to that their young core, specifically their center. Their center is awesome. But like, even then, like you have third overall pick Jabari Parker Jr. and Jalen Green that also have like sky high potential, and it's gonna be interesting to watch who becomes like the main guy in that squad.
Yeah, for sure. Now there's definitely some interesting teams out there though. That's how I'm excited for these seasons coming up. I feel like there's gonna be some really fun stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be peak basketball, peak football, and I just can't wait for it, man.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for these seasons though. I think there's gonna be a lot of fun games, a lot of exciting teams to look out for.
For sure, man, for sure. Okay, I think this might be close to the end of it. Is there any closing remarks or anything you want to plug personally, man?
Uh, not yet. Maybe in the future there might be something maybe a YouTube channel I may plug, but
Oh,
we'll see.
hey,
Honestly, I
hey,
have
just
some.
just just tell me when the YouTube channel is done, and so we could get to recording another one, and we say that you can plug it in, man.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I mean, it's no promises yet about that though. It's just some ideas I have, but we'll see. I
Hey,
know
if
I'm
you ever
watching
need help,
this.
man, with anything, hit me up. I'm sure I could maybe help you with something here and there.
Yeah, of course. No, I know, of course, dude. You're the homie, dude. And I appreciate everything you've done.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you and your brother, man. They're two
Yeah,
awesome brothers, man.
thank you, dude. Thank you. Yeah, no.
Yeah, any closing remarks, man? The Broncos gonna win the Super Bowl. Russ is gonna win MVP. That's what Byron said before he left the episode.
He said Russell win MVP. My
Yeah,
prediction.
Russell Wilson. That was
Nah, this is
his
my
bold
prediction.
prediction. That's your
This is
prediction too.
nah. I have a different prediction. Patrick
What?
Surtain is going to be defensive MVP this year.
Yeah, I can see that happening, man. He's already a top 2 corner, probably. Of course, behind Trevor Diggs, of course.
Okay, good.
Nah,
We'll see about that. I think he was the better one on that team in college, but you know what? I'll let you have that.
nah, I'm just joking. Patrick is obviously better than my boy Trayvon. At least for now. At least for now. But
Yeah,
remember though, uh, PS2 was basically built in a lab to play wide receiver, cornerback. Trayvon Burley is like in his 5th year of playing cornerback, man. So that's all I'm gonna say, man.
hey, that's fair, honestly.
So is that your closing remark, man? That uh, PS2 best cornerback, best defensive player next year.
It's not, and I'm saying this, it's not even going to be close. He's going to be
Ooh.
defensive player of the year, and it's going to be either unanimous or nearly or almost unanimous because there's always going to be that one guy.
All right, man. With that very confident remark, we're gonna end this episode, and I hope everybody has a good time. And check out the SGBL. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but go check them out, and hopefully you guys stay around for more episodes, man.